Evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the review of the theater right here on Shelby 85. Now, today's theater play that we are going to be talking about is Venus in Fur. Now, this play was originally written by David Ives. Now, this play is an adaptation of the 1970 novel Venus in Fur, in which Thomas Novacek, playwright slash director, has been auditioning young women all day for the lead female role. He hasn't had much success, and then a woman named by the name of Wanda Jordan arrives late and unexpected for the audition, which rapidly escalates into a sadistic, I can never get that word right, audition. And I did actually have the honor and privilege of actually going to this play and seeing it. That's, of course, why I'm reviewing it today. My first reactions on the play was, wow. Let's dive right into this one. Of course, the play that I seen had Karen Knox play Winona Jordan, the lead female role, the only female role at that, and then had Martin Sims playing Thomas Novacek, the lead male role, and of course the only lead male role in the play. It was just the two of them that were acting, and of course, when I first got there, I was kind of blown away because I seen the set, and I was kind of like blown away, and I was like, oh man, the set looks so awesome. Like, this actually looks like a really good set. Now, when the play started and Thomas, the character, came on the scene, he actually came out with such gusto and just so much emphasis. And I actually got really excited, and I was like, wow, this play is going to be so good. Like, I'm really pumped, really super duper excited. And he gets a rapping on the door, like bang, bang, bang on the door. And he's just actually at this point, he's actually just ready to leave after auditioning female leads for his play, because it's basically a play within a play within a play type thing is how this actually goes. So he opens the door and bursts out this from behind the door, bursts out this lady who's full of energy and just excitement and just ready to go, raring to go. She has this giant bag with props and costumes and everything with her, and she really wants to audition, and he's basically saying, no, like, you can't audition, I'm done for the day, I'm leaving. And she's begging and pleading that she auditions with him. And so he finally gives in to her and says, okay, audition for me. But the only problem is I don't have an auditioner. Basically, I don't have anybody that you could read with. And so she finally convinces him to read with her. So he's going to read as the male role in this play, and then she's going to read as a female character in this play. And it was really good. Like, so what I said was it was a play within a play within a play. Was they started acting out the play that she was auditioning for, and it was really good because the person that played Karen Knox, who played Winona, was actually really just phenomenal actress. Like, she was really good. She had a lot of passion. She was really young as well. I think she just started out in theater, and she was actually really good. She had a lot of gusto and a lot of grit, and she had a lot of passion and in-depth to her characters that she played, because the play also had a few characters. Like, she was playing Wanda, and then she was playing Venus, and then so it was like 4 characters that she was actually playing in this play, and she was actually really good. Like, she had a lot of passion, you could tell. It kind of just bled through her work. And of course, Martin, who played Novacek, also played like another character in the show as well. He played two characters, I guess you could say, in the show, so he kind of had to bounce between the two. And I thought that was really my kudos on them. They did a really good job between balancing from character to character to character to character in her case, and him balancing between character to character, because it's got to be tough for actors to kind of just switch from character to character on a dime like that. And I think they actually did a really good job at that. So I definitely give them props. Now, the whole time throughout the play, they were switching from the reality of her auditioning and then the play that she was auditioning for. And they ended up reading through the whole. I don't want to give too much of the play away because if anybody wants to see it, but they read through the whole entire play. And uh, my first impressions of this play was it was 50 Shades of Grey meets theater. That's exactly how I took this because, I mean, 90% of the play she was decked out in her lingerie. She had a dog collar. I mean, even to do with the storyline, Thomas Novacek was reading when she was doing like the rehearsing for the play when she was auditioning. He was reading as a character. I can't remember his name now. I believe it was George something. I apologize if I'm wrong. And in the story, he basically talks about it's basically about fetishes and stuff like that, and how he became so I guess how he became like how he got a fetish of fur and being dominated by women and whips and stuff like that. It was a story he told about an aunt that he had. He grew up in a wealthy family. His parents were never around. He was a kid. He used to be a really bad kid, and then his aunt came to visit, and he was really mean to his aunt. Like he would boss her around. He would call her names. He would laugh at her. He would just be really, really mean to her. So one day she took her revenge by going into a study where he would read, and she brought a couple servants along with her. And these two, she came in with a fur coat on. She took her fur coat off and laid it on the ground, and these two servants grabbed him, held him down onto this fur. She grabbed out a whip, which is like a birch cane, and started like just beating the kid half to death. And she promised that one day she would be back to finish him off. And so that's where he ended up getting this kind of fetish from, which also reminded me of 50 Shades of Grey, because that's kind of where that guy got his whole kind of domination-y type fetish from, was when he was abused as a child by a woman. So in that way, it kind of also reminded me of 50 Shades of Grey big time on theater. And I don't really give too much of the play away, but I was fortunate enough to stay after for the Q&A. And one of the questions that was aroused was, or one of the comments that was aroused was, an old lady said, "Hey, I had trouble actually following the storyline because you guys switched a lot from, you guys now to you guys rehearsing without being like, okay, let's take a break. One minute you'd be in one character and the next you'd be in another character. And it was a little hard to follow. And I could see where in this play that came to be. Like even myself, I kind of had to wait and think and be like, are they playing the character she's auditioning for, or are they playing themselves, this and that? Like I kind of had a little bit of trouble following that myself here and there. So that's kind of the downfall of this play, Venus and Fur, was that it is kind of hard, to follow in that way. I didn't like the ending at all. I don't want to give the ending away to anybody that sees it, but I didn't like the way it ended at all. If you see the play, you'll know why. They kind of just like left it. It was just like one of those shows that just was like, and then fade to black. That was kind of like how it ended. I kind of wish they kind of tied everything up more so before it just ended. Other than that, I mean, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. 10 being like the best thing ever, 1 being like piece of shit. I give it about 7.5 because the actors were so great. It was pretty well written. I mean, it was a really sexual play. I mean, she spends 90% of the play in her lingerie, spreads her legs open for the guy, stuff like that. I mean, it is a very sexual play, so I definitely don't recommend taking any, buddy who's really under the age of 18, 19 to go see this play, because it is such a high sexual content in the play. The chemistry between two actors was great. It was kind of like they were acting together for like millions of years, even though they had this was their first play that they ever actually acted together. So yeah, I thought they really were chemistry wise really clicked, and they really did great. It did. My wife did kind of point out during the play that he was really nervous. Martin, the guy who played Thomas, he would shake in random times, swallow hard, perspire and stuff like that when his character didn't call for it. So he was really nervous in the play and whatnot. But I mean, like, other than that, he's a really good actor. I think he played Thomas really well, and same with Karen. I think she played Wanda like really, really well. Like, she's a superb actress. Like, definitely be on the lookout for her, Karen Knox. She's definitely a superb actress as well. Could the play have been better written? Oh yeah, like it definitely could have. Like the transitions could have been better. Storyline could have been better as well. I mean, the whole time the storyline was about them rehearsing the play, and the play was about this guy that just wanted to be dominated by this woman, and this woman really didn't want to be dominated by him, but he kind of forces her to dominate him, and then she ends up resenting him because he did that. And then it kind of turns as to where she then wants to be dominated by him. And, he ends up kind of resenting her for it. And, I mean, you just really have to see it because, like I said, I don't really want to give too much of it away. But I give this 7.5. I mean, it could have definitely been better written. I mean, the storyline wasn't that great. I mean, it was kind of hard to follow here and there. I mean, actors did a great job with what they had. The sets, were like a -2. Like, I mean, just the look of the set was great. But, I mean, the fact that, like, the set after, like, a half hour of the 90-minute play just got really boring and just really tiring. And I was kind of like, change scene already, you know what I mean? But you always had to imagine things because they were rehearsing and they're like, oh, this is the fountain, this is this is that, this will be this will be that. So it really kept your imagination going, which was also a cool thing. But I don't know, I kind of liked it if they changed scenes more, because you do kind of get a little bit bored of the scenes after a while. But it was all in all a pretty decent play. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I would recommend it, definitely, for sure. Go see it, especially if you like the movie 50 Shades of Grey. You'd probably like that one as well. There's some female domination in that big time. No, but she was a good play, though. Go check it out, and thank you for watching this episode of Theater Review. Like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe. You want to do it? Make me come after you, man. Don't make me come after you. Subscribe.